Hey guys, welcome to Conceptual Geometry Lesson 1.6, Classifying Triangles and Angle Sum of Triangles. We're going to start by classifying triangles by angles. We've got three types: acute, right, and obtuse. So I'm going to start with an acute triangle. I'm going to sketch one first, and then notice what it contains. Three acute angles. Next, we have a right triangle. Well, as you can probably figure out, a right triangle is going to have a right angle. So it has one right angle and two acute angles. Finally, we have obtuse. Here's what an obtuse triangle looks like. An obtuse triangle has one obtuse angle and two acute angles. Next, we'll classify triangles by sides. First, we'll start with a scalene triangle. So you might notice this triangle looks very similar to the acute triangle up above, and in fact, it is both acute and scalene. But a scalene triangle has no equal sides and no equal angles. Next, we have isosceles. An isosceles triangle has two equal sides, here and here, and two equal angles, here and here. And the third type of triangle by sides is called equilateral. An equilateral triangle has three equal sides and three equal angles. And we'll talk about what each one of those angles is in a second. All right, so our first exercise, we have to classify the following triangles by sides and by angles. So we can give two descriptors for each one. So in letter A, is it acute, right, or obtuse? So you need to recognize just by looking at the angle shape, each one of these, I think you can recognize they're all acute. So I'm going to say this is an acute triangle. And then is it scalene, isosceles, or equilateral? Well, it's got two equal sides. So that means it's isosceles. So I'm going to say acute, isosceles. Next, letter B. Is it acute, right, or obtuse? Obviously, you can see that right angle there. This is going to be right. Is it scalene, isosceles, or equilateral? Well, none of the sides are marked congruent. So they're all different, which means it's scalene. Okay, next, letter C. It looks like I have an obtuse angle right here. That's definitely more than 90 degrees. So I'm going to say this is obtuse. None of the sides are marked congruent, so this is also scalene. And letter D, what do I notice? I notice it's got three equal sides. Also, they're all acute. And in fact, all equilateral triangles are acute. So you can write acute equilateral, or you can just write equilateral. That's the only one you can name with one word. Okay, next. We're going to talk about the sum of the three angles in all triangles. So if you're in class for this lesson, I'm going to show you kind of a cool demo, but unfortunately I can't do that here, so I'm going to enlist the help of YouTube very quickly. So check this out. So as you can see, the sum of all the angles in a triangle is 180 degrees. Every triangle. Doesn't matter if it's cute, right, obtuse. Okay, so first example here, find the value of x. Well, I know all three of these angles add up to 180. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 180 and subtract 53 degrees and subtract 32. And whatever's left over, and I throw that into the calculator, that's what x is going to be, 95 degrees. All right, in example 3, this is going to be a little bit more challenging because now I need to create an equation. All right, it says find the value of x and the measure of each angle. So I know all three of these angles combine, and that's going to equal 180. So here's my equation. X plus 5 plus 2x plus 2x plus 10 equals 180. All right, now the algebra, all this stuff's on the same side. So I'm going to combine my x's, and I get 5x. I'm going to combine my numbers, and I get 15. So that's going to be 5x plus 15 equals 180. I'm going to subtract 15 from both sides. 5x equals 165. Divide by 5. X equals 33. So find the value of x. Done that. And the measure of each angle. So now I need to take this and plug it back in to find those angles. Okay, and you can write it right in the figure. That's what I usually do. I'll just use a different color here to show you I'm doing that. So if x is 33, 2x is going to be 66. 33 plus 5, well, that's going to be 38. And 2 times 33 is 66 plus 10, that's going to be 76. So I just draw little arrows there. Angles should go on the inside of the figure, but there's no room, so I'm just going to draw a little arrow to represent where they go. All right, so now this is probably one of the more challenging examples we do because there's no diagram. Remember, in geometry, you always have to have a diagram. So this says here in triangle ABC. So I'm just going to sketch a random triangle and label it ABC. Now, it doesn't matter where you put those letters. You just have to make sure you match up the description. So this says measure of angle A is 2x plus 15. So wherever A is, you have to put 2x plus 15. So in my diagram, there's a 2x plus 15. Then wherever C is, C has to be 20 plus 2x. So C is 20 plus 2x. And then last one, B is going to be x. Now, once I get this, it's very similar to example 3. I'm just going to add these up. X plus 2x plus 15 plus 20 plus 2x equals 180. And now again, I'm going to combine my like terms. So that gives me 5x, and that gives me 35. So I get 5x plus 35 equals 180. I'm going to subtract 35. That gives me 5x equals 145, I believe. Yep. Divide by 5. And x equals 29. All right, so now if x is 29, I need to use this to find the measure of each angle. So I'm going to take that, I'm going to plug it in here, here, and there. All right, well, this one over here is easy. That's just going to be 29. That's x. This one here is going to be 2 times 29 plus 20, or 20 plus 2 times 29. And that's going to be 78. Throw that into the calculator. And this one here is going to be 2 times 29 plus 15, and that's going to be 73. Now, there's a second part to this as well. What type of triangle is formed? So I need to take a look at all of these angles. Is it acute, right, or obtuse? Well, all of these angles are acute, so I know the answer is acute. And I also notice that they're all different, so that means it's got to be scalene. So it's acute, scalene. All right, example 5. This is a simple question, but because it's multiple choice, students miss this quite often, unfortunately. And the reason is they forget to go back in and find the other angle. They just take a look at 43 and 38 and think that's enough information. Anytime you have to classify triangles, you need all 3 angles. All right, we got to find all 3 angles. So it's easy to do. To get this one here, we're just going to take 180 minus 43 minus 38. Okay, and that's 99. Now I can answer the question. 99 is obtuse. So let's see. Do I have obtuse? Yes, right there. This is an obtuse triangle. So the correct answer is 3, choice 3. Okay, let's move on to the last few examples here. This will go kind of quickly because I want to emphasize this type of problem. Example 6, again, find the value of x, then state what type of triangle it is. Now, usually it's not going to tell you to do this first. You just need to kind of know ahead of time. The problem will usually start with this. What type of triangle is it? And this won't even be here. So always, always, always find the third angle. All right, well, again, that's easy to do. Take 180, subtract 46, subtract 88, and I got 46 for that. So now, what do I notice? Both of those are the same. These are equal. I've got 2 equal angles, so it's isosceles. All right, now it could also be acute, but notice acute isn't one of the other choices. So yeah, it's 2 types of triangles. It's acute isosceles, but only isosceles is listed, so there's my answer, choice 1. All right, example 7. And feel free to work ahead, guys. You know how the video works. You can pause it. You can work ahead, then check your answer. Fast forward just to see if you did it correctly. In this one here, I'm going to take 180 minus 54 minus 36. All right, and that gives me 90. So that is a right angle. Right there, choice 2. All right, last couple. Example 8, find the value of x. Okay, we've been doing this pretty easy. 180, sorry, it's really messy, minus 49, minus 78. Throw that into calculator, that gives you 53. So now, here's what I notice. None of these are the same. So it could be scalene. No, 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 no. Okay. All of these are acute. Less than 90, less than 90, less than 90. That means it's acute. Choice 4. And finally, example 9. Find the value of x. This is going to be 180 minus 51 minus 68. And you throw that into the calculator and you get 61. So what do I notice? Well, they're all acute angles. So acute, acute's not listed. They're also all different. None of them are the same. So if none of them are the same, that's what we call scalene. So it'll be that choice right there. All right, guys, that concludes day 6. You should have more than enough information now to go ahead and complete Delta Math Homework 1.6. As usual, let me know if you guys have any questions. Thank you.